Just to kick things off, I mean, obviously, civil wars don't just happen. There's always kind of like a build up, and there's lots of different factors that lead towards an actual armed conflict. So I guess starting off, like people know that the American Civil War happened, but people might not know, what caused the majority of the tension. Kind of how did the build up look to the conflict?
Yeah. So essentially, it comes down to the presidency of James K. Polk, who coined the famous. I don't know if he coined it himself, but he was a big proponent of "quote unquote" manifest destiny, which was the notion that America had this kind of God-given, not only right but duty to expand into as much of the North American continent as it possibly could. So it was a very kind of aggressive, expansionist way of thinking, and it led to the Mexican-American War of the 1840s, which is essentially it's interesting to think that Mexico, of all places, would be kind of the seed of the American Civil War, but it is because you have this very successfully waged war in which an enormous amount of territory is won off of Mexico. And to go back a little bit, to rewind slightly, the key is always in the Senate, in the Capitol in Washington. Both northern and southern representatives are constantly stressing about what the kind of balance of power is between north and south. So whenever territory is added, there's this whole kind of hullabaloo about, well, okay, what is it? Is it a free state or is it a slave state? So you have the Missouri Compromise of 1820, which is a law that's passed that admits Missouri on the one hand as a slave state, but then also at the same time adds Maine as a free state. So there's a constant attempt in Congress in order to keep the peace between North and South, to always have on the one hand something for the Northerners, on the one hand something for the Southerners. I.e., on the one hand something for the abolitionist side of the argument, and something on the other hand for the pro-slavery side.
Right.
And as part of that package, slavery was banned in all the territory north of the 3630 parallel that was drawn out in the Louisiana Purchase. So basically, it's a sort of line in the sand of, okay, fine, Missouri, slave state, great, whatever. Above this line, any state that is admitted will be a free state. But south of that, you have this interesting thing of there being when a state is admitted as a slave state, or as a free state too, there is still the option for the people within that state to decide amongst themselves what they want it to be, and that's what takes us to Bleeding Kansas, because Kansas is in 1854, the Kansas-Nebraska Act is passed, and it basically repeals, as I was saying there, it repeals the Missouri Compromise in the sense of allowing popular sovereignty to determine slavery in the new territories. So it kind of wipes out that idea that you have, so, this is a free state, this is a slave state, because it allows people within it. Of course, what that results in is a massive amount of violence, because you have